Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video, I'm going to fly the next OCA mission, and this time I'll be attacking the Russian territory for the first time of this war. So first, let's say first bombs will be dropping onto the Russian airfield, just because the Russia declared war and entered the war on the North Korean side. They are taking off from the Nachodka airbase on the far east, so basically I need to go and destroy this airfield as soon as possible. There are some AVAX aircraft operating from this airfield, some Su-27s, and also a flight of IL-76 is also kept there, so ideally just to bring this airfield out of the operation. It's quite a long journey, quite a long flight, so I need to save as much fuel as possible. Therefore, Viper 4-1, copy, position and hold, runway 20 right. Okay, that's it. I'd like to save as much fuel as possible, that's why I'm driving like so onto the runway, and I'd like to take off without using the afterburner. Okay, Viper 4-1, cleared for takeoff, runway 20 right, depart heading 245. Okay, let's go for the takeoff. I'm quite heavy, so slightly nervous about the length of this runway. Hopefully this is the longer one. Okay, it's the longer one. Okay, 170, I can do it. Or I will end up in the fence.
Altitude.
Okay, 245.
Altitude. 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 Altitude.
Okay, gear is up already. Viper 4-1, copy, resuming on navigation. Let's fly directly to steer point 4, which is the initialization point already. I've just realized that this steer point is like 468 miles away, so almost 500 there, or 500 miles there, 500 miles back, so it's like 1000 miles flight. Very interesting. If I can fly such a long flight, it would be really like awesome. First of all, let's check the fuel. I'm going to set up the fuel for 10,000. That's the first bingo warning. So let's start with the fuel management, which is the most critical part of this flight. So 10,000 selected. Let's play with the wing first, external transport, and let's switch the knob to the external wing so it will show me the external wing amount of the fuel. Okay, that's it. Let's continue with the AMRAAMs. AMRAAMs set. Let's continue with the Durandals. I'm carrying 6 of them. I'll be dropping them off through the CCIP mode, like in the single mode. Release pulse set up to 1 as well. Let's zero this spacing. Okay. So that's it. Lights off. I'm not carrying any EZM pod, so that will be quick. So no EZM for this flight, and program for selected, and the master arm on as well. So I'm ready for the flight. Let's climb into ideally 25,000, but I don't know whether I'll be able to fly that high. Okay, let's change the resolution of the displays of the screens. Very beautiful scenery outside. I like it. It's looking really great, although I'm in some kind of shadow. And there are some cloud layer coming from the north, so that means that we shouldn't be able to use the GBUs in our next missions. Very nice.
Sentry 1, Viper 4-1. Request vector to threat. Viper 4, Sentry 1. I don't have anything. Chalice 5, be advised, enemy aircraft launch activity detected. Bullseye 040, 280 miles.
Okay, let's level up. 23,000, 24,000, slightly increasing also my speed, which is perfect. Okay, 25,000, but I'm quite slow, so ideally to be somewhere over 400, but probably I won't be able to fly at 400 with such payload. Okay, I'm crossing the down below. You can see the demilitarized zone, which is right below us. It's the border between the North and the South Korea. Basically, this is the land of nobody, or nobody's land, or no man's land. This part here, this green part here, is the South Korea. The other green part, there is the North Korea, and in the middle there is the minefield, some fences, some defenses as well. And that's it, basically. So nothing in between them, and you can't cross this area, basically. It's going from the one side of the peninsula to the other side of the peninsula, basically. If I show you this on the map, there is just the demarcation line between these Koreas. Okay, something in front of me in 30,000, very high.
Viper 4-1, declare. Viper 4-1, Sentry 1, contact is friendly.
Okay, that's the friendly. Let's check the situation once again.
Request vector to threat. Viper 4, Sentry 1, I don't have anything.
Okay.
Chalice 4, be advised, enemy aircraft launch activity detected. Bullseye 255, 80 miles. Sentry 1, be advised, enemy aircraft launch activity detected.
Okay, it seems that was the AVAX aircraft. Now it's behind me.
Be advised, enemy aircraft launch activity detected. Bullseye 015, 160 miles.
Okay, I'm approaching the coast with the Orang airbase. I was doing the OCA strike here in my previous video, so the Orang airbase is somewhere here situated. Maybe I'll be flying over it slightly, but I need to continue from now on to all the way to the Nachodka airbase, which is still like 176 miles to the IP point only, so far I'm somewhere behind the half of my trip. The current fuel is 10,000, still using the fuel from the external fuel tanks under my wings. But as you can see, these needles are slowly going down. So soon the external fuel tanks will be empty, but what is worse, that in the target area there is like 2 active SA5s operating, which means that I need to go down below, basically to fly onto the treetop level to avoid these SA5s. So far I'm quite far away still, so I can fly in such altitude, but definitely before the attack I need to go very low, which means that my fuel consumption will go really high. So that's what worries me the most. And also, after I drop the bombs onto the Nachodka airbase, it will be quite difficult for me to get away from these SA5s. Okay, still some fuel inside the fuel tanks, so I'm going to set up. I didn't check the exact levels, so I'm going to set up the bingo for 9000. Okay, that's the next warning. Let's check the aerial situation. Okay, something's there. Something's there in the 30,000 feet, and definitely this is either the AVAX or IL-76. Okay, it's flying away from me, so I'm going to ignore it. Hopefully it's not a problem. So gonna lose the lock. Maybe it just took off from the Nachodka airbase. You can see I have just changed the scale of the HSD, and there are these two SA5s covering or protecting the airbase, and according to the steer points I need to fly slightly to the right, just over to the IP point, and then turn left in order to drop my bombs. So let's change the direction. So I'll be heading like right off the steer point 4. Okay, let's activate the... Oh, wait a moment. Something's... Okay, that's okay. Someone was... As soon as I activated the time compression, there was a ground fire coming from... Maybe this factory down below is protected, or that city in the distance might be protected by the AAA. I'm off already. So this A, which is the artillery, anti-aircraft artillery radar, is behind me already, so I'm already safe, but I don't like it. Okay, in the distance I can see that's the Orang airbase, nicely visible here. So it should be still like 0% operational from the previous flight. So hopefully nothing will be able to take off from that base, but I'm really worried about the Nachodka, which is in front of me, and some Su-27s might appear in this in the air to say hello to me. Okay, I'm leaving the Orang behind me. Okay, slowly approaching the SA5 circle. Okay, need to turn off the time compression already. Okay, no threats so far. Let's go down below. I'm gonna reduce the thrust just to not overspeed my aircraft. It's not necessary to be at really high speed. Something's flying around the target at 30,000 feet. Definitely at this range, this is not a fighter. It's some huge aircraft, so it might be the AVAX or again the IL-76. So far we are okay. Let's fly like down in the more denser air. I'm already in the SA5 circle, so let's fly down more rapidly. Otherwise they might be able to launch a missile at me. I was thinking about taking some harps with me, or at least to split this flight into 2 flights, like first to fly with the harm, just clean up the way, and then fly with Durandas to destroy the runway. But unfortunately for me, one of these radars are inside the building, so I'm not able to hit it or destroy it. It's like indestructible, basically. Okay, I don't see the... Wait a moment. Okay, there is the missile launch. I can see the missile now. It's way above me.
Bullseye 330, 100 miles.
I hope that the missile will not hit me.
Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up, pull altitude.
Okay, I break the lock.
Altitude, altitude.
So the missile shouldn't be able to hit me anymore.
Altitude, 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 altitude,
And I can't see it. Okay, that's it.
altitude, 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 altitude.
Okay, still something inside the fuel tanks, so I'm not going to drop them. I'm going to hold them still. Maybe let's set up the altitude warning for... where is it? 0? Oh, turn. 0 again. Bullseye laser. RNG sums number 7. What's that? No, that's not it. That's not that. List 0. Okay. List data link. Let's try this R. Okay, it's not here. Number 3. Okay, not here. I'm just trying to find the altitude warning because it's set to 300 feet, and I'd like to set up it somehow lower. I was able to do so, but I forgot. Bingo. Wingspan. Okay, that's about the gun reticle. Number 8 mode. Okay, that's nothing. Number 4. Okay. Number 1. No, I'm unable to find it anywhere, like
Altitude,
I don't know.
altitude,
So let's keep flying
altitude,
above
altitude,
300 until the missile is launched again.
altitude.
Maybe it will be sooner or later, and in case I can go lower and fly with this annoying bitchin' Betty telling me that my altitude is low, but that's okay. Okay, soon the fuel tanks will be empty. At least those 2 under my wings.
Sentry 1, Viper 4-1. Request vector to threat. Viper 4, Sentry 1, I don't have anything.
I don't know whether this information from the AVAX are valid. The AVAX is like 200 miles away behind me, or maybe 300 miles away, so I don't know whether he is even able to see me and to inform me about the situation around me. So basically I need to rely on my own radar and my own RWR, so in case there is a Su-27 spike, I know that the AVAX is definitely unable to see the enemy at this range. Anyway, we are slowly approaching to the steer point 3. I'm going to change it slowly to the steer point 4. But I need to be sure that I'm correctly aligned it to the runway. That's because I'm too low. I won't be able to see the runway from great distance, so I need to be pretty accurate. Okay, master arm is on. Durandals set if necessary. You know what? Let's jettison these fuel tanks at 8,000. So let's set up the bingo for 8,000. It was somewhere to... I don't know. Somewhere I saw the 300, like for the altitude warning.
Enemy aircraft launch activity detected. Bullseye 290, 100 miles.
I don't know. Okay, the external centerline fuel tank is still full of fuel, so I'm okay with that. Soon I'll be dropping these underwing external fuel tanks. You can see that I was just going to tell that the SA5 is unable to see me, and suddenly the spike appeared on my RWR, so I was judging it too early. It seems that at closer ranges they are able to see me. Hopefully they won't be able to track me and fire a missile onto me. Okay, let's change to steer point 4, the IP point already. I'll be jettisoning the external fuel tank before the steer point. They should be already empty. And just because I was able to get in here, I should be able to get also out of here.
Altitude.
Sentry 1, Viper 4-1. Request vector to threat. Viper 4, Sentry 1. I don't have anything.
Okay, no threats so far. Let's change the range of my radar to 40 miles. I think that's enough in this situation. Okay, I'm approaching the coast slowly but steadily. Fuel is at 8,000, so let's go into the store jettison. These two external fuel tanks. Let's see it from the outside. There you are. So both of them are dropped. Let's go back. Now let's set up the bingo for 7,000. That's when my centerline fuel tank should be empty. Okay, I'm approaching the steer point number 4. Let's change it to steer point number 5, slightly to the left. Let's activate the Durandals. And let's try to find the correct approach for the
Altitude,
runway.
altitude, altitude,
SA10,
altitude,
oh my god.
altitude, altitude,
It's somewhere in the Russia.
altitude, 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 altitude,
Sure, go on.
altitude, altitude,
I wasn't expecting the SA10 to be here, and there is a missile in the air already.
altitude, altitude,
Definitely not a great situation for us.
pull up,
Probably I will be hit.
pull up, warning, warning,
I was just going to tell that there is like no rescue from the SA10. Let's see how the... I can't change my views anymore, so let's resume the flight. And he was shot down as well. Okay, the SA10 is like... It's always like this. It's always like... You can't beat the SA10 basically. Okay, let's end up this mission. I will need to fly here once again with the HARM missiles and to do the seed mission first. So both of us got killed. Horrible rating. Mission failed, like nothing happened. SA5 launched at me 9:31, like 10 minutes after it. SA10 launched at me and I was shot down by the Soviet or the Russian SA10 definitely, so they are using the SA10s, and also the Viper got down by the Russian SA10 as well. So that's how the SA10 works in this game. I'm gonna fly there once again. The SA10 was somewhere on this airfield. I have no information about it so far, so these are these two SA5s, the 2nd Air Battalion here protecting this, what is it, some factory, and the other SA5 is here protecting another factory together with this shipyard, and there is the active SA10 just on the airfield. So my mission, or my next mission, will be to destroy the moment. Okay, I can destroy this SA5. So let's plan a seed mission for this SA5 here. Seed strike. Let's take like 3 aircrafts with me. 121 seed. And the target will be like this 3rd Air Defense Battalion, but I will let my wingmans to destroy this SA5. I'm going for the SA10 radar, so wish me luck. I will need it, definitely. And that will be my next mission. Let's change the steer point slightly away from the... Let's make it like this. Okay. And I'll need definitely a 3rd fuel tank for this, just to reach this airfield. And let's go with the C4 variants. Okay. That's it. So I'll be carrying 2 HARMs, 4 AMRAAMs, 3 fuel tanks again, and I'll be heading towards this... Wait a moment, there is a news. The Allies push into Pyongyang. So first Allied units entered the Pyongyang already. As you can see here, maybe some of the strategic points were captured by the Allied units already, but I do feel that this avalanche coming from the Russia and China will basically liberate all this area once again. Okay, this will be really interesting. So we are pushing towards Pyongyang. They are also maybe pushing from the north to the Pyongyang to protect it, and also there is a huge bunch of units coming from the China and the Russia to protect also this North Korea. So that's it. So the next flight is planned to be at 9:58. It's 9:45, so very close. I'm gonna save it right here. and I'll be flying this this flight in my next video, so wish me a luck. Hopefully I can destroy this SA10 operating over the Nachodka. Maybe I'm going to change the steer point 6 just right over the Nachodka, so I know where the SA10 should be. Okay guys, that's it for today. Thank you for watching. As always, have fun, take care, and bye.